Hello everybody, my name is SirCrest, and today I'm going to be discussing This War Is Mine, a 2D or 2.5D side-scrolling survival wartime game. Difficult to explain, and often when I was thinking about how to describe this game, if you talk about keywords and phrases you would use to describe this game, it doesn't really sound all that special. You have survival, crafting, gritty, 2.5D, side-scrolling. I think I'm repeating the same words. But the idea is that this game, once you play it, totally different outlook on it. Now, a couple days ago, when I first got it, I played 4 hours straight, and I had to stop playing because I had to go to bed. But it was that engrossing. I mean, I check Twitter on my phone and stuff, but it was such a engrossing experience, an immersive experience. Now, This War Is Mine is developed by 11-Bit Studios, and actually published by 11-Bit Studios, although Deep Silver is a distributor, according to Wikipedia, so I don't know how that differentiates it. But, yeah, I have a single run going. I've only done one, I guess, run, and it's currently still going, although my people are beginning to starve. And I'm just going to go playing from there instead of starting over from the beginning, to give you an idea of just how maybe slightly later game functions. But I'm going to check out the settings for a bit. And audio, resolution, graphics, full screen. And that is about it. But the game is pretty easy to run, I find, although I'm running on high right now. And it does support very high resolutions. That's using the dynamic super resolution from NVIDIA. I can run it at 5K if I wanted to, but I'm leaving it at 1080p. And that is pretty much it. If under War Child, it actually has an inbuilt link to donate to charities, which I thought was neat. I didn't look too much into it, but I thought that was kind of a very nice addition. Now, that makes sense because This War Is Mine has to do with the civilians of war. It isn't, with all the war games out there, it's not about the soldiers or the super soldiers or commanding. This is from the perspective of those having to deal with the war themselves without trying to defeat anybody. It's just living, and it's kind of difficult to put into words. Anyways, I'm gonna try and speak about what I'm doing as well as describing the game. So this is my house right now. As it's our first impressions, I don't know if there's other houses to play with. I have not researched this game almost at all. I've just played it. I've seen some screenshots. I want it to be purely kind of on my own. Now, these thoughts actually occur throughout the game because everything you do in the game has some sort of ramification, which is fantastic. And let me just pause right here to bring this point up. In this game, choices are not simply good or bad. They have way more long-term ramifications. So, for example, one of the characters who's no longer with us, I sent him into a house, and I thought, I need all this stuff. I'm going to kill these people. Those people were a couple. And for the next week or week and a half, that character was extremely depressed for doing so. Now, all the characters in the game, from what I can tell so far, based upon my readings of the forum after I finished my run, is that all the characters have their own specific tendencies. Some are more okay with killing or fighting, and others are more sensitive to that. So you can see right here, Sveta, I don't know how to say it. Anyways, loves children. Now, I don't know the specific scenario in which this is useful. I don't know if there's actually children in the game yet. But anyways, good cook, fast runner. So, for instance, with good cook, let me just go to the door here. With good cook, he uses less supplies when cooking or producing moonshine, which is pretty good. So we have a new character here. Can I stay with you? I have nowhere to go. So you have the option. Occasionally, people will come to the door to see if they can stay with you if you have the room. I think it's up to 4 survivors, but there will be merchants. Kenny or Kevin, I think that's it. Comes to the door and he's able to trade with you. And the trading system is also really interesting to me, but I'll get to that later. Now I have not dealt with Cadia before. Katia? No, probably Cadia. Katia. She looks kind of hurt. Yeah, wounded. So I don't have any bandages. So I don't know how it's going to work. See, I'm in the part of the game where I'm having to really manage my margins a lot. And it's kind of difficult to describe how this works, but the days can be pretty grueling in how they play out. And there's also a nighttime system, which we will see in about a couple minutes once this gets to about 7 or 8 o'clock. Well, I guess let's talk about the building. So we have a workshop that actually works on upgrades to the house, like features. So things like beds and chairs and heating appliances and traps and stuff like that. And then over here, which from here you make a workbench where you can create weapons and tools and stuff like that, which you will use for clearing rubble or breaking through doors. Oh, no! What did I do? Hit the... Come on, what are you doing? Oh, maybe I just made a component. Okay. Hit the wrong button. Anyway, we have a herbal station. What's it called? Herbal workshop. Yeah. From here you can make, from herbs you can create homegrown tobacco, quote unquote. You can create cigarettes, which you can trade, or if some of your survivors smoke, they will basically, I don't want to say need to smoke them, but they will be used to calm them down at times if they so need, as well as bandages and stuff. You can upgrade a lot of these items. So for the stove, it'll be more efficient. For this, you can create more items and repair items. Same thing here, as well as here. And you can create a lot of different items to expand your abilities to trade or to better outfit yourself for raiding or salvaging, or scavenging, I should say, of other buildings. So talking about a little bit of the bios again, we talked about how, for instance, Bruno is a good cook, but he's a smoker. Now, I haven't seen the smoking aspect play a role, really. I don't think I've even seen him smoke. Usually I just trade the cigarettes for other supplies. And as you can see here, I didn't do anything, but the characters on their own will do certain things. If they're tired, they will go to bed. If they don't like standing in one spot, they'll go and find a chair to sit down in. But that is, for the most part, kind of the most I've seen. And I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this. But, yeah, so I stole from a hospital. I stole from patients. And your characters will feel bad about that. And if you do it enough, like let's say a character dies due to sickness or war or something. Okay, here was the night. They will be depressed, and I haven't seen it, but I have heard that they will commit suicide if it's bad enough. Because this is all about the emotional and physical strains of war. So Bruno, even though he's hungry, sad, and tired, let's see, He's cooked. Yeah. See, the thing is, Bruno, up until maybe day 13 or 14, really seemed disconnected from a lot of what was happening. So, for instance, the first character that I used a lot because he had high capacity was Marco. And Marco had died, I think, getting back to... what do you call it? Getting back to the hideout, or the shelter, as you can see down here. And Bruno seemed like he did what he had to do, or something like that. It felt kind of disconnected, which was kind of cool, because not everybody reacts the same way. Anyways, so both these people aren't tired, so he's going to sleep. Or, yeah, you're wounded, slightly wounded, so you're going to be on guard. You can sleep in bed. Actually, that'll be fine. So you can only have one scavenger, at least so far. So if I switch to scavenger, it'll swap. And you can choose who to be on guard and who to sleep, as you can see. And certain people are better equipped than others. For example, Marco, like I said before, he had his particular skill was he was a good scavenger, which meant he had 15 backpack capacity. But that doesn't... the game doesn't specifically tell you how that manifests itself. There was another character who actually joined day 15, but I reloaded the game, and he was kind of a mechanic, so he could use less supplies to create the items that we needed. So I would use him to craft things and to create things, and I would save supplies. Same thing with Bruno, who would save supplies like less food or less fuel to create the food that we needed. Anyways, enough talking. Here we choose where we want to go for the night. You can see stay here. I've never figured out if there's a way I can just stay inside. I'm an idiot. I never even tried that. Okay, so... yeah, never mind. I've always scavenged, so that's... wow, I'm an idiot. Alright, so some of these have more loot, but they're dangerous. Some have a lot of loot, but they're not dangerous. But you can see some here, I can't get to them because of the fighting, and I think this is simply the progression of the game. As time goes on, you won't be able to get to certain locations, so you should check things out before time passes. I decided, you can see here, I didn't visit any of these, so I don't know what was there. The only places I haven't gone to are these places here, the brothel. Danger. Caution advised. I think I'm going to go here, and we'll see how that goes. So, with the backpack system, it kind of makes... it can be frustrating, but it kind of makes sense. It's not based upon weight, but kind of how much space they would kind of take up. Although it's not perfect. If it was completely realistic, it would be both unbalanced or imbalanced and a challenge. See, for some things like materials, like planks of wood, if I were to put this in, I can only carry 2 per slot. So these take up a lot of space per unit. But things like cigarettes, I can fit a bunch in one spot. So oftentimes it can be worth it to figure out, as you're scavenging, what's worth what, how much you really need something, and let's say you have a bunch of wood, maybe it's beneficial to get rid of 2 of them and be able to carry a bunch of sugar or vegetables or something like that. Anyway, so this right here is what you're going to be using when you're out in the field scavenging. Now, if you're going to be trading, you have to carry what you want to trade with you. And so I'm going to carry pretty much nothing, because I don't think we're going to be trading. Moonshine can't be used to trade, so... yeah, I don't think I want to carry anything. I need lots of things. Therefore, I'm not going to bring anything with me. So this is how you sneak in. You see very low the building. You can see things moving, which is very beneficial. And if you're close enough, you can see red marks that show sound that your character is hearing. Now, if you left-click, he will walk, but if you right-click, he will run. Or you can double-click to run. And you can actually drag any button on the mouse. So left-click, right-click, middle-click, and it will shift everything around. For some of these cases, you might be able to have your character jump up, like so. For some doors, though, you can see here there's something going on down there. Sometimes you can hear it. Just sounds, but for dialogue, it is all text. Now, for doors, you can see through them to see what's going on, and your view will actually shift as it's blurred and focused. Or you can open up the door. Hand items show there is something that I can loot. It'll take some time to open it up. And you can see the items are here. So these are items that I would use to make bullets and electrics for more advanced items. I don't really have any use for these right now. My main focus is food and general supplies. Let's check again. Let's open up. Your character will sneak, so there's somebody right here. If I look through the door, I should be able to see somebody over here. Yep. So sometimes you can see them coming up to the door, which is really freaky sometimes. It's also worth mentioning that you can play this game just with the mouse. It is very relaxing to play. I would like to also mention there's a button that says run to exit. It's an automatic button that when you click, he will automatically just, again, run for the exit. It's very convenient if you just need to get out of there quickly. I hope this person walks away. Yes. Okay, I might be able to loot the fridge. Although... Oh god. Close it. Okay. Jesus. Alright. Okay, that's just the window banging. So when you see that item, that option there, it means it's going to be stolen. Weapon parts, I can make that with... I can make knives. Or... Let's see. Knives or, obviously, weapons. I can also trade them. They're okay valuable. What's also nice is that the value is almost entirely subjective, which I think it should be. I wanted to actually show that, but I don't know if we'll get to that. I absolutely need water. Oh my god, this is a really good haul. Food is absolutely the biggest concern for me. Let's try going up here. So certain traders may really need a certain item. And what's kind of nice is that in a lot of games, items that are very useful are valuable, and items that purely, you know, within a regular economy would be valuable, really aren't. So an example would be like bandages are really valuable. Medication is really valuable. But items like bullets or weapon parts, or I'm trying to think of some examples off the top of my head. Those items aren't necessarily as valuable as you may think they are, because pretty much everyone needs bandages in a wartime. So I don't have a lockpick with me. Now I won't say that the trading is hugely perfect, or wait, is this person going up? Oh god. Shit, okay. Run to exit. Go. Okay, I got everything. I didn't get everything I needed, but I got a lot of decent stuff. So that's how trading can really be meaningful as you're trying to eke out these deals. You can, you know, flood his inventory with a lot of people not to survive. Well, it's me or them. Okay. So, oh, Jesus. Okay. I just found that too bad we no weapons. None of us. Okay, that's good. It actually gives you an update for it. It also tell you who's wounded, how much, as well as the items that were stolen. So that is good. I think we're doing all right. So, hungry, slightly wounded. All right. So, the canned foods are good because you don't need to cook them. You can eat. You can eat. I can cook stuff later. And you, well, there we go. Get everybody up. Right, so you can flood a trader's inventory with, you know, a bunch of 2x4s or something, but that's really common, so that doesn't really get you much. All you're doing is losing a lot of materials. So often, an item that you don't need can be very valuable, like moonshine, or alcohol, or medication that you pick up. If you have a lot of medication, like right here, this stuff right here, I had crafted. If there was a trader who came to the door, I could sell that, and those would be really valuable. And you're tired? Very tired. I have 2 beds. And you're sad. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. So I could give 2 or 3 of those and get a bunch of materials that I might need to build an item or something. So often, even though the trading can sometimes feel unfair, it feels very meaningful. If that's kind of understandable in a way. Oftentimes trading can feel like I can yes, I can show you guys. Often trading feels exploitable, like you just, you know, craft just a ton of stuff and just get a ton of gold, but you don't really have gold. It's, you know, it's items. Open the door. Okay, let's make a deal. All right, now I can show you the trading aspect. So with this, you click on the item, it tells you what it is, and it shows you kind of relatively, not in numbers, but in words, how valuable they are. And it says right here, you have to show me a lot in exchange because that's really valuable. It would cost you. You have to show me a lot in exchange. You can have it for almost nothing, meaning that it's not really valuable to him. Quite common, but you can have it for almost nothing means pretty much you can have a lot of them. So what's valuable to me is bandages. So let's... Interesting is actually pretty good. See, notice that difference. Since this is going to be a long video, it won't do try harder. That means you're basically 1 step away from a deal. If I were to give right there, that's a perfect deal. So you have to eke out and kind of barter in a way with the way these manage. So if I were to do 1 more, that's very generous of you. Kind of means you're giving away more than you're getting from him. So, see, firewood, because even though materials are cheap, so you can have for almost nothing, etc., they're still really useful, but you go through them a lot, so it kind of balances itself out. But you go through so much of those items at the same time, even though they're not very valuable, those items become really worthwhile, if that makes any sense. So buying fuel can be worthwhile. Also water, very good. There's a lot of different min-maxing strategies. So for instance, to get 4 water, you have a water collector from rain. But to collect that water, there's no such thing as just unpure water, at least so far in the game, so it has to be filtered. To make a filter, you need 4 components like this. So those 4 components, or I think it's 4 components to make a filter, and that filter gives you 4 water. So it's basically 1 component per water. Or I can trade like 1 item. to get a fair bit of water from a trader. So there's things where you have to keep in mind, stuff like that. And it's not that this game is all about min-maxing like some titles that I find. This one feels like planning is very important. To me, it doesn't feel like it's all about exploiting all these little differences. It's more like these things were set in place to enhance the level of, again, planning, so that someone who's prepared is going to survive the longest, rather than somebody who just does what they need. You have to foresee needs. So, quite common. So I can probably get one of those. So for 2 of these herbal meds, I get a bandage, a lockpick, and 6 water. And so I'm actually really a fan of the trading system. Now, don't need electronics. Might need some of these. And you can see that even though I added one, the deal is still good, which is very nice. Now, food is very important, so I don't really need these. Probably going to do 2. Let's see. Oh, I also have moonshine. So what do I need to sell? Tobacco. Now, moonshine can be drunk or traded. I think it's much better traded, personally. So let's see if we can get some tobacco as well. Let's see. These are very useful. See, I'm giving them a lot in comparison. Have for almost nothing. Now, if I were to move one of these... Wow, that's still very generous of me. Okay. We'll do try harder, so let's... Alright. Then we have a deal. You do the deal, you can talk to him again, and we can do more. Now, we don't specifically need moonshine. It's really just for trading, personally, because I can get a lot for it. So I'm going to get more meat. I'm actually... Wow, this was a really good trade, because I had created quite a bit of items to trade. Cigarettes. I'll probably keep 1 on me. So I think that looks pretty good. I could use the weapon parts to make knives. Which I feel like I should do. So let's... I need those weapon parts, which I already traded for, I know. But sometimes it doesn't always work. Let's get 1... Actually, tobacco is probably more useful. We have a deal. Alright. So you have to take your time with this. Alright. Got a deal. And I think we are pretty well set up. Now, I'm not going to say that I have the best strategies of anyone ever. Because I don't. And I built... This herbal station actually is... It's okay. Also, okay. I want you to heal yourself. Or bandage yourself. You do have to rest. Now, I have noticed that when you lay down in a bed when you're wounded, it will show you as recovering. So my assumption, and this is based on just my first impressions of the game, is that based upon the bandaging, you will heal faster. I guess kind of just like in real life. So if you rest, you will recover, but your character is going to be out of it for a very long time. He's very sad. Okay, you can lay down. So you are hungry. Just go ahead and eat. Very tired. Yeah, he's gonna sleep for a while. Wait, sag. Sad. Okay. It's updated, I think. Oh, and it'll show their thoughts as well. So what else have I not really talked about? Well, where the hell are you going? Going to sit down? Interesting. Okay. Sometimes they will pick up a book if you have a book, and they're feeling sad. They will, what do you call it? They will read the book, and it will, over time. You already adjust that wound. Okay. Like I said, there's crafting, so you make, oh, shit. Whoops. Bruno, you go down here. You can make weapons, although I have not upgraded this station before. You make weapons and tools and stuff like that. Let us... Now a dangerous melee weapon. I think we'll make one. I do not have a specific... bargaining skills. Okay. I'm glad I used her. Also, she's a coffee drinker. Okay. Oh, I want to show one other thing. Is that there's various items. Actually, go back over here. There's various items you can craft, such as the radio or the guitar. I've not made the guitar. I have done the board up and the radio. And with the radio, let's head on up here. With the radio, you can tune into stations. Typically, I've checked it quite a bit, and there's typically three talk stations and 2 music stations, and of course they're not understandable. It's kind of generic, and it will play throughout kind of the building. Now the thing is, it sounds like it's throughout the building, but I don't necessarily know if it's affecting everybody kind of the same. It sounds kind of German. And it'll give you updates on how things are going. Some areas have been completely cut off, while others witness heavy fighting. Let's give you an idea of what's going on. The price of cigarettes and tobacco have become exceedingly high. Many people need cigarettes to calm down, but how can they calm knowing how much they must pay for them? That's very good for me. So it may be advantageous to set up a... And the classical music is very depressing, but it's very beautiful. It may be advantageous for me to build a garden. Oh man, I need a lot of lumber for that. Yeah, so I could make tobacco, which would be, again, it's a trading item. But let's check out the moonshine here. We have quite a bit of water. So I can make moonshine here. How many? I'm going to make 3. And there's a certain time that he puts into... Oh, come on, Bruno. I thought you were better than that. Or worse than that. Whichever. Great, it's the night. Now, let's scavenge. So, slightly wounded, sad, tired, sad. Let's go scavenge again. I know you're tired, but you can sleep in the morning. You'll be on guard. You'll be on guard. And because you're recovering, you can sleep in the bed. So, caution advised, small apartment building. Lockpicks might come in handy. Danger. The warehouse. Now what's interesting is it says it is very dangerous, but it doesn't show there any danger. Which kind of makes me apprehensive. This is the first place I went to, I think. Red Villa? Let's go back to the apartment building. Nope, actually not. I think I've traversed the whole school. Oh right, the other thing is in the hospital you can actually get healed by the people there. Wounded, slightly wounded. So I could have her scavenge and get healed up. Huge amounts of parts, some weapons, question about. Alright, let's head out there. I don't think I need a knife. Actually, let's take it just in case. Scavenge. Alright. Even though I'm creeping and I'm walking very slowly, this is a friendly area. Or at least the first time I was here. Can you run with being hurt? Oh yeah, go up here. Come up the stairs with a broken leg. Yeah, looking for donations. Yes, you can help. Oh yeah, you can scroll with the mouse wheel. I'm not really sure what changed. Let's try trading. Just like I make a donation. I cannot help donate. Well, there's not... I kind of already stole a bunch of stuff, so I'm gonna head back. Yeah, run exit. Make it easy. And I basically sacrificed tonight because you can only go to one area at a time, and your limit is 5 a.m. Once you hit 5 a.m., your character will not immediately go back to your shelter, and they will come back later in the day. But more importantly, there's a good chance they'll get injured as well. Thankfully, we have a bit of food, so it should be okay. So, you are sad. Go lay down. We're hungry, so you can eat. You can eat. These people go to bed. Yeah, he's reading a book, you can see right there. Also, the music is fantastic. What's great about it is that... Okay, maybe I just already like the game, so I'm biased to defend it, but what I noticed in playing was that the music wasn't always depressing. Like, listen right here. The music is not necessarily depressing. It's kind of somber. And I don't want to say... I'm thinking of the... I was going to say introverted. That doesn't necessarily make sense. It's more self-reflective. I tend to tie an emotion to a lot of different things, but the music kind of feels like it's the downtime of a really difficult time, and so the music is relaxing, and it's really not, oh god, it's not meant to bum you out. It's just kind of interesting. I use interesting for so much, so I'll just leave it at that. Come on, I'm trying to talk to you. Can you help me board my windows? I live nearby with my daughter. I've heard rumors of looters pillaging houses and raping women. I can lock the doors, but they could get inside through the windows. Can you help me? My husband take photos. Yes. So that character will go with her, and they'll come back later, maybe the next day. Sometimes people will come to the door asking for supplies like medication or food, or weapon parts, stuff like that. I've had, early on in the game, there is a situation where two kids come to the door and say, our mother needs medication. I gave them the medication. That helped some of the sadness of some of my characters. Oh, you're tired. And you are hungry, so you can eat. And So that helps some of the depression of some of my characters. I think. It seems so. However, I lost medication, which is really expensive, or has a really high value. Again, we're not talking about a real economy. It's just a trading economy, or barter economy. So just go ahead and lay down. So, with that, but then they came back later and said, our mother is feeling better, but we run out of food, and I didn't have any food to give them physically. I mean, it's not like I was just being mean, but I couldn't give them anything. And from what I remember, that reflected it in the dialogue. It wasn't simply, I wish we gave food to them, but rather, I wish we had food to give them. So, like, the game is very conscious of that. That's probably an overarching theme of this game, is that it's very well, not gameplay-wise, but it's very well balanced in the way it seems to approach the situations. It's very dynamic. Not in terms of like what happens, but how it happens and how your characters react. That's what I really enjoy about it, is that you can see your choices reflected in the behavior and the mindset of the characters in your house. Now, I have heard of situations where it snows because it gets really cold. I don't actually know off the top of my head how warm 17 degrees Celsius is, because I live in the United States. There is some forum posts that talk about it snowing and you have to collect snow to boil it or melt it in order to make water. It has never gotten below 16 degrees Celsius, which is not cold enough to be a problem, from what I understand. So I don't know how the randomness plays into this, the beginning of the game, what predisposed factors are in place. So it's possible that once you finish like one regular playthrough, because I think there's different modes. Again, we're getting to the night. I believe there's different modes. You know, does it say that suddenly it allows it to be winter? Because again, we're only, what, 20 days in this? 21 days? Something like that. Anyways, Bruno is gone, so I only have these people to mess with. You'll be on guard, and you... because you're not really useful, so you'll be on guard. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, so I don't need a scavenger, because Bruno is usually the scavenger, so we'll stay. Oh, day 18, okay. Oh, goddamn. Alright, cool. Neat. I gotta say, this game is a lot kinder than I was expecting it to be. There are some really brutal, I guess, roguelikes. Oh, you're hungry? Okay, then cook. This game is not really one of them. So to cook, you need fuel, just like we saw with the moonshine. Although you can create fuel using different resources, books, planks, or components. Components are probably equally as common as wood, but it requires 4 times as many to create the same item. So usually I'll do it with wood. And just needs 1, 2, so I'll make 2. So he's hungry. But I have enough food probably for 7 people? 6 people, something like that. So once he eats, I will put him to bed. Although I have been recording for quite a while, so once he eats, I'll put him to bed, and I think we're done. No, eat. Tired? You're not tired, get up. Eat. Alright, well that is This War Is Mine. It's very good. Developed by 11-Bit Studios, and it's a game that you will likely lose a night or two with. It is hard to describe, but once you play it, you understand why people like it. And there is a reason why the the screen or the Steam page shows it as overwhelmingly positive. There's a very good reason for that. It's not to say a game is perfect. I have had some weird animation bugs where characters would go through doors for some reason when they just didn't open the door. But overall, it is a very, very solid game that has a really nice perspective on war. It's nice to see, and I think it does it in a very tasteful way. Although, maybe I'm just speaking very pretentiously. Anyways, that is all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And I will talk to you guys later.